There's a small window every single year where you can make double the IRA or Roth IRA contribution. Should you do that? I've got those reasons and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, are you contributing to your 401k and also to an IRA or Roth IRA? You guys know that your 401k or 403b if you work for a nonprofit, or even a simple IRA if you work for a small business, these are employer-sponsored plans. So when you're making contributions, those contributions have to be out of your paycheck. You can't just write a check and have it go from your bank account into your 401k. But what about if you're funding an IRA or a Roth IRA? Well, we get this question all the time. That actually can't come right out of your paycheck. It used to be a payroll deduct IRA, those sorts of things. 20 years ago, maybe rarely some companies still offer that, but I mean, we're probably 0.1%, not many. Typically, when you're contributing to an IRA or Roth IRA, that has to come right out of your pocket, right? So right out of your checking account. You write a check, or if you set it up systematically, like I do, where it comes out every single month, not out of your paycheck, but out of your checking account or out of a savings account directly into your IRA, your Roth IRA. So those are your options with retirement plan savings. You either are contributing out of your paycheck to a 401k, 403b, simple IRA, an employer-sponsored plan, or you're contributing out of your checking account, which would be to an IRA or a Roth IRA. So given that, if you're contributing to an IRA or Roth IRA, there's actually every single year a unique period of time where you can contribute twice as much or double what you normally would be able to during these certain windows. But first, two things. You know that there's a contribution limit every single year if you're funding an IRA or a Roth IRA. You can't contribute more than the maximum amount. And that maximum amount is, for 2022, it's $6,000. It's up to 100% of what you earn. So if you only make $4,000 working part-time, something like that, then that's your limit, okay? But up to a cap of $6,000. So if you make well more than $6,000, then that's the limit. And plus a $1,000 catch-up if you're age 50 or older. That's for 2022. For 2023, it's $6,500. So again, it's 100% of what you earn, not it's got to be paycheck money, not dividends, interest, that sort of thing. It's got to be paycheck money. 100% of what you earn up to a max of $6,500, and that $1,000 catch-up stays the same. So if you're age 50 or older, it would be $7,000 for 2022, $7,500 for 2023. So those are your contribution limits. But not just everyone is eligible to contribute to a Roth IRA or able to deduct an IRA. Your income needs to be within certain limits, okay? So for funding a Roth IRA, that one's more common, more popular. Your adjusted gross income, married filing jointly, needs to be below about $204,000 in order to make a full Roth IRA contribution. That's married filing jointly. And if you make above that, then you're limited on how much you can contribute to a Roth IRA. If you make more than $214,000, you can't contribute at all, married filing jointly. So depending on your filing status, that's going to influence whether you're even eligible to contribute to a Roth IRA. For an IRA, anyone is eligible to contribute. As long as you've got earned income, right? As long as you've got earned income, you can contribute. But not everyone is eligible to deduct that contribution. That's where the backdoor Roth idea comes into play. So if you don't have a retirement plan available to you at work, but you're working, you've got earned income, then you absolutely are eligible to deduct your IRA contribution. But if you have an employer plan through work and you're contributing to it, you're using it, you're benefiting from it, then your income needs to be below certain thresholds in order to still be able to do a deductible IRA. If not, if your income's above those thresholds, your IRA contribution is non-deductible, which is still, is still a good deal. It just doesn't benefit you on your taxes today. Okay, so that's how much you can contribute, and that's if you're eligible, so the eligibility to contribute. But what about when? When can you contribute? And that's sort of the focus of the video today. You can contribute as long as you are eligible and you have the right level of income. Then you can contribute during the calendar year, so January 1 to 12/31, okay, and up until your tax filing deadline. So you can contribute every year, really from January 1 all the way until April 15th of the following year. Or if it's April 18th like it is this year, then you can contribute all the way up until that. So you've got about a 15-month window to make a contribution to an IRA or Roth IRA. So now you can see there is this overlap, okay? So from January 1 through December 31st until April 15, you can make in this instance, a 2022 contribution. But starting January 1 through the next April 15, you can make a 2023 contribution. So there's this small window from January 1 until April 15, approximately, tax filing deadline, where you could actually make a double IRA or double Roth IRA contribution, meaning contribute for last year, for the previous year if you hadn't done so yet, and contribute for the current year if you haven't done that yet either. Now, this doesn't apply or make a ton of sense for everyone, but in the cases where it does, it's absolutely the right thing to do. So what are 3 times where you're going to want to double your IRA contributions, Roth IRA contributions? The first is if you've been saving up the money to make your contributions, but you weren't sure if you were eligible or not, right? I talked about how you've got, in order to be eligible, your income needs to be below certain thresholds. So you're saving up, and you don't want to make a mistake and fund the wrong thing. So you sit down with your certified financial planner when you're preparing last year's taxes, and all of a sudden you look and it's clear, yep, I'm eligible to fund a Roth IRA for last year. And because of my circumstances, it seems clear that I'm going to be eligible to fund a Roth IRA for this year as well. If that's the case, you'll want to make a double Roth IRA contribution. Why? Because you're eligible to make the contribution for last year. And if you've got the cash flow, you're going to want to do it, and you believe you're going to be eligible this year, you're going to want to do it earlier in the year as possible. No one knows if the stock market's going to be up, down, sideways for this year, but 3 out of 4 years, the stock market's positive, and because the Roth IRA, the benefit is on that growth, then making that contribution earlier in the year over the long term should be a benefit to you. So in that instance, you're not sure of your eligibility, and then all of a sudden it's clear for last year, and it's clear for this upcoming year. Capturing that double Roth IRA or double IRA contribution earlier in the year, that makes a ton of sense. Another instance, and I would say this one's the most common for doing the double IRA or double Roth IRA contribution earlier in the year, is when you've all of a sudden received some sudden money. And some sudden money could be an enormous tax refund, or more likely could be a bonus where, I wasn't expecting this and I received a $20,000 bonus, something like that. Or you just received an inheritance where all of a sudden you've got a lot of not extra cash, but disposable cash that you want to stuff into tax shelters to help you benefit on your taxes over the long term, and also kind of repurpose those dollars towards retirement. So all of a sudden, when you have those resources that are at your disposal within that time period, within this January 1 to April 15 or April 18 tax filing deadline window, you've got enough resources to say, okay, now I've got these resources, I should make a contribution for last year, and because we've got the resources, I'm going to make a contribution for this year as well. Think about this, right? And I just did this, which was sort of inspired the conversation for today's video. If you're a married couple, okay, and in this instance, they were both in their mid-40s, and they'd been building up cash for a certain reason, and his business had a fantastic year last year, so they had even more than what they needed, way more than what they needed. We were able to take $25,000 of that and put it to work in Roth IRA contributions. For each of them, we did $6,000 for last year, okay, so that's $12,000 total. And then for each of them, we did $6,500 for this year. So $25,000 total, we were able to take extra cash that they had, put it in Roth IRAs, and move it downstream for their retirement in a tax-sheltered way for the rest of their life. And then the final instance or circumstance when making this double IRA contribution, double Roth IRA contribution typically makes a lot of sense is when you've been saving money, but you haven't been saving up into an IRA or Roth. And then all of a sudden you sit down with your certified financial planner who points out, well, listen, you've got this money over here. Maybe it's in a joint investment account or an individual investment account. And gosh, it makes sense to repurpose these dollars into a tax sheltered account. And so you've got dollars that you've been saving up, but you haven't been saving on an ongoing basis to an IRA or Roth. Using those dollars, those existing savings, that joint account, that individual account, and saying, all right, let's contribute the maximum amount that we are able to for last year, and then contribute as much as we can for this year as well, and then start that savings going into these tax sheltered instead of that joint account or individual account from this point forward. All right, is this the year for you? Are you right now on the precipice where, yeah, I've got some dollars at my disposal. One of these circumstances align well with your situation, and we're in this pocket of time where you can contribute a maximum amount for last year and contribute the amount for this year as well, doubling your IRA or doubling your Roth IRA contribution. It's a great way to shift dollars into tax sheltered accounts to benefit your tax situation, but also give you an accelerant towards saving up for retirement. So work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@Korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.